strategy to strategy. I would stick to one for 2 to 3 weeks, and I would just change it. I would change. But this is what I'm realizing. Stick to one trade setup and continuously trade it. There are so many setups out there, but the thing is, you don't have to catch them all. This is what I was see. This is what was messing me up. I wanted to I wanted to catch every single trade there was. But now I'm realizing, okay, let me start only trading one setup that occurs. It can occur one time a day, 3, 4 times a day, maybe 0 times a day. But I know it occurs, and I know when executed, I have a decent win rate if executed right with the right take profit. Now I feel like the stress is off my shoulder to chasing a trade. No more chasing trades. I still need to work on execution, but now I got rid of the chasing trade because now I know what I'm looking for. When I start to see what I'm looking for, the game of trading is so much easier now. You know, that one setup that occurs over and over again, and you see it occurring right in front of you live, and it's working, gives you that sense of, damn, this is actual trading right here. And you realize how being profitable is realistic now. And you realize that being profitable is actually in reach. Because now if you trade that same setup over and over and over again, you start to realize how it most likely has a high win rate, around, a good win rate 60% or up. The higher the better, obviously, but 60 is good. And you realize how it gives you this sense of happiness, a sense of excitement, because now you're realizing, holy shit, I'm on the road to becoming profitable now. No more Mickey Mouse bullshit. I want you to find this one setup that you like. In the future videos, I'll give you the setup that I'm talking about for myself, but I want you to find a setup that occurs multiple times in a week or in a month. Now, you got to remember, it might not happen every single day. And you got to remember, it might not work every single time. Finding a great setup is just having a higher probability of winning. It doesn't make it a guarantee to win. So try to find one setup that occurs multiple times, that you can find multiple times. It's better if it's in a week, but you can always do multiple times in a month to make it even a higher win rate. Because, and now what do I mean by find a setup? Find a pattern that occurs over and over and over again with the same exact components. For example, my setup is I use Ripster EMA clouds, and I wait, and I go on to 1 minute, and I wait for it to go tap into the overall bigger trend of the market, and then combine it with a smaller trend, which should align together with the same trend. And what do I mean by this is the overall trend has to be bullish, and then the smaller trend has to be bullish for me to get my setup. Okay, and that's just for me. That's just an example. That's just my setup. And I'm seeing it over and over again, and I'm seeing how when done correctly, executed right, It's a decent win rate. I would say about 60 to 70%. And it gets rid of this feeling of rushing, feeling of impulse, feeling of every single bad feeling. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I kind of impulse it and getting a little bit early, but that's something I'm working on. But overall, it's kind of crazy because now I'm slowly getting out of that break even phase, and I can give me another month or two, I can say I'm on the road to becoming profitable, like for real, like doing this for a living and not trying to Mickey Mouse this bullshit like everyone else. But this is gonna be game changer for me. I found my one setup, and I can show it to you in the future videos. But the best is find a setup for yourself that makes sense to you, that has a decent win rate, and that you can see clearly. Okay? Because my thing is, my setup, sometimes it can be hard to, it could look like it happened when in reality it didn't happen. And now me explaining is going to be a whole different video. But please, if you had to do one thing to becoming profitable, it's just find the one setup that occurs over and over again and practice it. And I promise you, the game is going to change for you. Now, if you were like me, who wants to really, really like go crazy when it comes to like NQ day trading, like 100, 200 points day trading, you know what I mean, a day, then it's like, okay, master one setup and then you can master other setups. This is not what I was realizing before. I was trying to capture every single setup. But you also got to remember, every single setup has its own criteria. And if the criteria wasn't aligning, then these setups weren't working. And I'm just losing, right? So imagine I have my setup criteria, and then I have another setup, and that other setup occurs, but that one doesn't have the right, criteria. And I take that setup, it's a loss. Now I think it doesn't work, but in reality, that wasn't even the real setup. Do you understand what I'm saying? Stop trying to master so many different things when you haven't even mastered one. The more I slowly get out of this break-even phase, the more I realize all it took was one strategy with one setup for life. Because this setup occurs over and over with a higher win rate, something I can see, no chasing, stops me from doing other bullshit, with a good risk to reward equals profitable. No more chasing. No more randomness. Something that's repeatable. And I promise you, when you find your one setup, everything's going to click. And then after that, the hard part is done. Finding the right setup, boom. Now all you got to do is focus on your mental. You start off small, size small. You can even start off on a sim account. But me personally, what I believe a lot of people mess up on is they're on the sim account for too long. Then they just stop caring, because that's what happened to me. I was using the sim so long that I was like, bro, I don't even care no more. I wasn't even taking it serious no more. But I was like, fuck this shit. I'm going to put my own money in, put your money where your mouth is, and start trading live. As of right now, I was trading options. That's not my setups. That is a different type of strategy that I'm doing. But that one, I have guidance with a dude named Ripster. I'm in this community and I use his guidance to help me out because I'm learning. But my personal thing that I'm going to start doing is the setup, because I did it on sim accounts, but now I'm going to put money in. And that's what I'm going to start making future videos on. And I promise you, once you find your setup, that's it. Then you're really on the road to become profitable. I'll catch you on the next one, man.